Someone once told me in Lakota, "Du hanta ni niksiam hanta ni inktashin." I remember all of them. The Lakota culture, the old warriors, they get together and they tell stories. And as little kids, we sit around and listen to them, listen to these far out countries. My father was in World War II. He was a code talker. Battle of the Balls, my dad was involved in it. My uncle was in World War I. Infantry, France, fought in the trenches. 3 of my 4 great-grandfathers fought at Battle of Rosewood and Battle of Little Bighorn. So my background is not limited to one war. And I think that's what kind of guided me towards the Army. I went through basic training and took medic training down in Fort Sam. Over the radio, the Paris peace talks started. And I thought, oh crap, this thing's gonna end before I get over there. So I put in a request to go to Vietnam, and lickety-split, I was over there. I just went with the flow. It was like paddling down a river. You don't know where you're going, but you're going someplace. I wound up in headquarters company, 2nd Battalion, 1st Infantry Regiment, 196th Light Infantry Brigade. We ran operations in the mountains, Quezon Mountains, and then they moved us over to Quezon Valley. As a medic, my rucksack weighed anywhere from 80 to 100 pounds. I carried saline solutions because we have so many casualties from the heat. It's not unusual for the temperature to go up to 120 degrees. The heat is so hot that when a person dies, there's a smell. You never forget that smell. We fought the 2nd NVA Division. They were tough, disciplined, and there are lots of them. When we made contact, just sheer terror. Adrenaline's going, bullets are flying around. You're afraid. But then a guy gets wounded. You want to get that guy out of there because he's depending on you. Drag him out of the fire, make sure he's okay, he's in pain, give him morphine, and you just go to the next one. Shrapnel, stop the bleeding. You have to move fast, give him a shot of morphine, put him to safety. Grenade, grab the forceps, patch him up, hope like hell they make it back in the world, go back out again. My job is to keep him alive till the helicopter comes. But we're in a war zone. There's no guarantees. People get killed. Seeing the first dead bodies where I knew the guy, it affects you. With the infantry, that happens all the time. And so you develop this trust. People had trust in me, and I had trust in other people. It works both ways. And it's much stronger than sibling brotherhood because they were there and you experience it. It lasts a lifetime.
I absolutely have a tremendously strong bond with Francis and a number of the young men that I served with. It's just so powerful. I mean, you've been through something with them that you can't explain to anyone else. Unless they've been through it, there's no way to tell them what it was like to be with that person in that situation. And it's an incredibly powerful and emotional connection. Francis was a source of great confidence to the whole company. He and I became very close friends. He used to wake up in the morning and say, "It's a great day to die." I said, why are you saying this? It's not a great day to die. And he said, well, that's part of the Lakota warrior culture. You're ready to fight, and you will fight to the death if you have to. He had the aura of a warrior, and that was inspirational to all of us. The medics, they were expected to, run through fire if necessary to help someone who had fallen. And they did, and they did. And I saw him do it more than once. It was always a remarkable thing to see. On August 19, 1969, I was wounded in the Battle of Hep Duck. One of the NVA slipped through the perimeter and he fired an RPG at me. It hit the ground right in front of me. I was sprayed with this grenade. 5-10 minutes later, I came to, and all hell had broken loose. And now you have machine gun tracers coming over your head. I remember thinking, oh my God, where's Francis? And then I remember Francis was out on R&R, and it just like, I just thought, God, I wish he were here. Another medic came over under fire and cared for me. And later I learned Francis had raced back to try to get down. He'd heard that the company was in trouble. He wanted to be there, you know, for me. He wanted to be there for everybody. He came in and rejoined the company kind of as I was going out. So that one moment we missed each other. We were like ships passing in the night. But I thought of him, and I know he was thinking of me.
You know, I thought about that many times. When I came back, the whole place looked like a plowed field for bombs and artillery shells. When I joined the group, battle was still going on. Paul had been sent out that morning. They take him someplace. You don't know where they went. You don't know if they've been shipped back to the world or they die along the way. So there's that big void.
I spent 6 months in hospitals. I had multiple surgeries, came back to Omaha, Nebraska, my hometown, took a final year of undergraduate school. Francis suddenly called, and he was at the bus station in Omaha.
It was so good to find him.
It was an incredibly emotional evening. I was just so glad to see that he had made it out. Wow, it was like, I mean, I think, you know, we both cried. I mean, it was so emotional.
We've been in touch ever since.
And then the day came when he said, I would like to adopt you into the Lakota tribe. And I just said, oh man, you know, because I knew that was a very, very unusual, very rare for a white man to be adopted.
In Lakota culture, we have a ceremony where we can replace family members and make family members. I invited him to Rosebud Fair, and I made him my younger brother through the Goss ceremony. And then after that, we inducted him into our Red Feather Warriors Society.
It was the first time since I'd come back from Vietnam that I felt really welcomed. I felt really welcomed home, and I felt like it was family. He calls me Misoon, which is little brother, and I call him Chie, which is big brother. And that's how we address each other in all of our correspondence. There's just a magical relationship there, and I can tell him anything, and he can tell me anything, and there's no judgment.
You know, we're all old men now, but if one of us was in some kind of trouble, I'll get together and try to help out some way. When I came back and started a family, children and grandchildren, one great-grandchild, and I thought about that whole thing about it's a good day to die. Years later, when I started doing research, I realized it's a mistranslation. And I thought I could make a saying of my own because I have all these people that are my family. So I made up, it's a good day to live.